And we're here in Dubai at the Retail Summit 2019. It's great to see you back in Dubai. I'm with Joe Malone, of course, the creator of Joe Loves, and just in all, dynamic, creative, imaginative. I mean, I don't know how many more words we're going to put to this, but a true businesswoman at heart, but a true creator at heart. So give me a little bit of a rundown the last few years. It's been very, very exciting for you.
So the first 2 years of creating Joe Loves was pretty tough. I wanted to quit every day. Only because it was, I don't know, I made every mistake in the book. I mean, who knows why. But over the last couple of years, my little business has started to grow her wings and starting to fly. And it was once I went back to the heartbeat of what this brand is about, which is storytelling and telling stories and creating fragrances, that's when it all started to click together.
Isn't that interesting too, that it almost comes back to basics? And sometimes we spend half of our life getting so confused in the complex things that maybe we ought to do, but actually it's about the fundamentals always.
I think it's about the passion you feel for your product and the authenticity that we put in, and also that investment in creativity.
Talk about creativity, because you talk about the investment in creativity, you talk about the currency of creativity, but it's not a one-off investment. So how important is sustaining creativity? And perhaps some businesses that maybe start creative and then, you know, that might fall off, and that probably is the undoing of them.
Well, when we look at the world that we're living in right at this moment, nothing is certain, is it? And currencies are going up and down. On my belief, and it is my belief, that the investment in creativity is a currency that will never devalue. You'll only lose any value in it when you stopped using it and it doesn't become apparent in your business. And often when we start as small SMEs and small businesses, there's heap loads, isn't there, of creativity where we do so much with so little. And then the bigger you get, the less creativity is important to you. Wrong. Creativity has to be the thing that we focus on, and whether that's created with our product, with our services, how we train teams, the stories that we tell about our brands. I mean, you look around here, each one of these little nuggets is a nugget of creativity. Somebody has thought of an idea for a brand and a business and invested in creativity, and look where they are.
And when we look at the shift in retailing over the last few years, it's not about just being a shopkeeper anymore. It's not about being buyers and sellers. It really is about an experience. And I know, particularly in your shop at Joe Loves, it's the ultimate experience, actually.
Well, personally, I love being a shopkeeper. I've been a shopkeeper for 25 years this year. It's one of the proudest things that I go around the world and I share my story about being a shopkeeper. But you're right, it's no longer just about opening my doors every day. There's shopkeepers online, and how do you make yourself a global shopkeeper, yet still stay true and authentic to your brand? So I think the challenges that business are facing today, and shopkeepers love nothing more than stability. To feel their feet on a ground that's stable and secure. And of course the world, I don't know about the rest of the world, but certainly in the UK, businesses need that stability, and that's something that I feel passionately about. And these small little SMEs, my goodness, do we need to go and support them, because they don't have teams of people to look after them, and we need to make sure and hold their hands and say, do you know what, guys, it's going to be okay. We're going to do this together.
And of course, when we look at the global economic picture and we see maybe things softening here and there, it actually comes down to the consumer. If we lose consumer confidence, which means if people are not out there shopping, then the whole wheels of industry actually come to a halt.
I have this huge belief that one job, if I give you a job today, it changes your life, but it also changes your family's life, and your family changes the community changes the country. So one job really can change the world. And I think when we lose the consumer's confidence in whatever way, shape or form that is a really dangerous position to be in, because it affects one job, then one family, then one community. And then what happens, everybody else then thinks, oh, panic. So we can actually talk ourselves into a situation that is not reality, but becomes reality. So as shopkeepers and business owners and SMEs, and I use my voice all the way around the world, and it's sometimes not in agreement with everybody, that doesn't bother me at all. But I will use my voice to actually try and stabilise and try and make people feel secure that they're not on their own, and that being a shopkeeper is probably one of the greatest jobs and greatest responsibilities in this world today.
And indeed, that's what I was going to say, that word responsibility, because I think sometimes perhaps the industry doesn't realize how vital it is. And actually, I think when everybody looks at that, then they maybe take a bit more of an interest in it, but it always comes down to leadership. Yeah. Leadership is absolutely essential. Would you agree?
I absolutely agree, and I think the responsibility that we hold, this is why things like this are so important, the Retail Summit, because what happens is we gather together from all different parts of the world, we bring our stories, our experience, we share ideas together, we form relationships, which relationships are one of the most important ingredients of success today, and we come together, and I think this is where the confidence comes back in. The confidence needs to come from us in the beginning, and to say, because when you walk along a high street and you see 6 stores disappearing, what you have to also remember is the coffee shop disappears, the hairdresser, the dry cleaner, all of the little nuggets in the community then starts to suffer. So the responsibility that we have to create businesses that are telling authentic stories, but it's not just about selling product, it's about the entertainment, the education. Let's create theatre and circus. Let's create spaces where you feel like you've walked into a theatre and you're going to be entertained. I was telling somebody this morning that a lot of my retail team, I didn't actually recruit from the retail sector. I recruited them from the theatre and entertainment. So the head of my education, Adam comes from the theatre, and he used to, he can sing, dance, tap dance. But what he can do, he tells the most real, authentic, funny, real stories. And he travels around the world, and he is, I call him my retail husband. He's not, but he does exactly what I do and tells all these amazing stories, creates tapas all the way around the world for your nose. So that's the responsibility we have. We have to dig deep and find that creativity and find different ways of us selling handbags, beautiful dresses, sneakers, running shoes. That the 2 guys yesterday, what blew my mind was that sneaker that has technology in the sole of its foot that as you jump, it makes you 2 inches taller. How amazing. And it's 2 brothers who thought of it, APL they're called. And that blew my mind. And what it made me think is, if they can do that, what can I do? And that's what successful stories, that's what doing retail summits across the world do, is it stimulates other ideas in your imagination.